Okay. What do you guys think of this one? So I will tell you, there's something that's well, there's at least two things really bothering me on this one. Too bright, can't read the font. Keep in mind, guys, a lot of your buyers, not all of them, but a lot of them are probably going to be elderly. This one's a To My Daughter one, so you're probably going to be a younger audience, but I will tell you that this would be very difficult for some people to read. Very difficult. The colors here just it's just, I almost feel like I need to put on sunglasses. It's just very, very bright. The other thing is this Winnie the Pooh thing. Guys, you cannot use copyrighted stuff in your designs. You can't do it because you're selling under our name, right? This will get taken down. If you get any amount of sales on this that matters, we will cease to sell it. Now, obviously, we'll work with you. We'll talk with you. We'll ask you to change the design. We'll do all that kind of stuff. We're not going to just, pull the rug out from under you. But I'm just saying we can't allow this to be sold on our platform. Okay, so that's, for me anyway, that's problem number one. Problem number two with this is, whoa, I haven't even been able to read the phrase yet because my eyes are still dilating from the brightness of this design. We got to turn this thing down a little bit. So you definitely need to be conscious of, your buyer. Now, I'm guessing that you're probably doing this because you want to stop people in the news feed. You're probably wanting something that's big and bright and loud, and just when people see it in the news feed, they stop the scroll. I'm with you. I understand where you're coming from, but this is just not the way to accomplish that. This is not going to serve that purpose. So let's go ahead and read the phrase. To my daughter, if there ever comes a day when we can't be together, keep me in your heart. I'll stay there forever. Love, Mom. Love, Mom. If there ever comes a day when we can't be together, keep me in your heart. I'll stay there forever. Love, Mom. What do you guys think of the phrase? Lindy says they think that's a phrase from Pooh. Yeah, well, if it's copyrighted, that is not good. That's a big deal. Don't use copyrighted anything in your designs. Anything you don't have permission to use, you cannot use in your designs. I've seen this one before a lot. It's good, I guess. Phrase works. I've seen some super women necklaces. Okay. Oh yeah, Luna, that would be a no-go for sure. Can't use copyright design. Isn't that copyright? Okay. Yep. We can't use copyright design. What do you guys think of the phrase? Let's talk about the phrase for a minute. Does the phrase work? Does it follow the greeting card format? Does it have emotional impact? Yeah, I think so. And also it rhymes. Rhyming phrases can work. They really can. If there ever comes a day when we can't be together, keep me in your heart. I'll stay there forever. Now, assuming this isn't copyrighted, I think the phrase works. I really do. Whoever made this, the bright yellow is not going to work. The Winnie the Pooh thing is not going to work, but the phrase is fairly good. So keep it up on the phrase. To my daughter, I'll stay there forever. I'm reading the title now up here. I'd really like this to say necklace, maybe on the back side, like right here, just so people understand like what they're buying, what they're looking at. Keep in mind that ShineOn also sells bangles. I've sold the bangles before, and trust me, like I have to call out that it's a bangle in the title, because when you're this close to the actual product, it can be tough for some people to tell. Is it a necklace? Is it a bangle? Like, what is it? Let's talk about the targeting real quick. So it's a To My Daughter from Mom. Look, you guys have seen me go through this a million times. How do you think you'd target this? Let's start with gender. Gender's obvious. That'd be female, right? Let's do age. What age would you target for this? To my daughter, love, Mom. 30 to 35 plus. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. 25 plus, 30 to 60 plus. Yeah, I'd probably go maybe even a little higher, actually. I think I would probably go 35 plus, maybe even 40 plus, for a couple reasons. First of all, the older people are typically the more disposable income they have. Second of all, you need to keep in mind, think in the maturity level of this necklace. If you saw a 13-year-old running around with that on her neck, I don't know, to me, it just doesn't fit. Like the necklace piece, I suppose it could be at like a special occasion or something like that. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a female. So actually, we have a lot of females in the group here. We have Luna, Lindy, and several others. What do you guys think about this? From a maturity perspective, is this necklace too mature? Like, how old does a girl need to be before a necklace like this would kind of fit? 20s. Debbie said in her 20s. I would have worn it as a teen for special occasions. Okay. 18 plus, 16 plus, 20. So it sounds like we're kind of all over the place a little bit. Sounds like maybe teenager, special occasions. Anyway, regardless, let's just pretend for a minute. We're going to throw a dart to puzzle through this. You need a daughter that's 15 years old, okay? So the mom needs to have a daughter that's at least 15 years old to be appropriate to buy this necklace. Now, what age are we targeting? What's the bottom? What's the floor? 40 plus. JB says 40 plus. 35 plus. 35, 40. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in there too, guys. I think 35, 40, something like that. Yep. Now for interests. So we've got our gender, which was a obvious one here. We have our age. Like what interests are we going to target to go after parents? So Skylar says parents 17 plus. So I'm almost certain Skylar's referring to the parents of children that are 17 years old or above. Parents with preteens, parents with teens. I don't know. I go with parents with preteens. Girls, softball. Yeah, so I see what we're doing here. We're getting primary and secondary interests confused here. So here, let me show you something real quick. This may be a little bit redundant, but it'll be helpful for some people on the call. So I like to think of interests as primary, right? Primary and then secondary, okay? And the way I think about it inside of the ad set levels, you have your primary interest is the first interest you put in, and then what you do is you narrow by secondary interests. So narrow by. So I've drawn this before. I'm just going to do it very quickly here. So like, let's say this is parents all, right? And I actually was messing with this one today. It's 74 million people, I believe it is, in this entire interest. So lots of people in this entire interest. Well, this is probably way too, unless your pixel is good and optimized, like this is probably much too broad of an audience for you to be running to. Your pixel is likely not going to be able to find or lock into your buyers if it's a new pixel. So what you do is use here. I forgot. This is parents all, right? So this is your primary audience. And what you want to do is then narrow it down by secondary, right? And so I saw some people in the chat saying some secondary ones are like softball, dance, ballet, Girl Scouts, things that moms with daughters may have expressed interest in at some point away. And all of that is going to help you segment it basically is going to help you narrow down this huge thing, right? So like if you go with softball, that might be this chunk of people. And if you go with Girl Scouts, it might be this chunk of people. And if you go with dance, maybe it's this chunk. And you're just breaking it down, right? So like maybe this one here is 5 million people. And this one here is, 1 million. And this one here is 2.5 million. It just allows you to break the big audience down into smaller chunks. And then you can, when you're doing your testing, like if you're running like one of your testing methods where you have one campaign and 5 ad sets, each ad set can go to a different chunk of this audience, right? So you can start to test and try to figure out where your buyers are. Do you segment by engaged shoppers? Yeah, sometimes I do test engaged shoppers. You can narrow by, I'm not sure what the limit is. You can narrow by more than just 2. I'm almost certain you can narrow by like more than once. So you can like keep filtering down and add engaged shoppers at like a lower layer if you want. When do you use engaged shoppers? Well, I treat engaged shoppers like I would another interest. Typically it's a secondary interest. It's almost always one of these. I never run it as a primary interest, but I will test it in my ad set. Sometimes I add it in, right? So I'll add my primary and secondary, and then I'll add engaged shopper underneath that. What would be a good audience size for new pixel? Yeah, those questions are just so tough to answer. For a brand new pixel, maybe 2 million. I don't know, between 1 and 2 million. I don't like going with small audiences. Perhaps it's just me. I run lots of ad sets when I'm targeting, so that has something to do with it. When my pixel is good and optimized, though, I don't like to go less than 5 million. I mean, I just go for it. Okay. Hey everybody, what's up? Thank you so much for checking out the ShineOn YouTube channel. I'm Michael Christ, and if you like the content in today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, check out all the links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.